Drum for the Song podcast.
Hello, everybody. This is another episode of Drum for the Song podcast. I am your host, Dane Campbell, and today's guest, we've got Alex Thistlethwaite from the fantastic British rock band Massive Wagons. How's it going, Alex?
I'm very good, mate. Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing good. Cheers. I've had a busy day. We've had a full day in the practice room at the unit, for getting ready for the tour next week. So it's been a long day of messing about with stuff, reskinning the kit, and been in the music shop, spent a fortune, and got loads of bits that I needed. Oh, it's been ace. I'm absolutely knackered though. Been one of them just long drawn out days, if you know what I mean. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning for my normal job. So I got up at 5 because I was down here for 10, so I had to get half a day's work in before I came down here. So
I thought I had a hard day, so I apologise for moaning about that in the call before. But
no, mate, I know where I would.
Yeah, you know what
traveling in a van, mate. Yeah, I'd pick my bed any day, even if it's just a few hours sleep.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's cool. It's difficult, isn't it? Like, I'm currently working another job as well at the moment. COVID didn't help, but it's so hard being in a band these days. People think you're headlining festivals, you're playing to hundreds of people a night doing headline shows, and people don't realize that half these people have got other jobs as well. And that's the realism of the industry today, unfortunately, isn't it? And
I was having the same conversation at the weekend. People are like, oh, it must be amazing doing this. I'm like, well, it is, yeah, but we work Monday to Friday, booked Friday off to come here, and then down here for the weekend. I'm not complaining, but it's the reality, the perception of people's reality as a musician in 2021 in a rock band. Anyway,
it's bizarre.
It's bizarre, yeah. It would have been nice back in the 70s. I think we'd both be sat in a nice little mansion or something now with a little pool and
possibly, I know what you mean. It's just, it all comes down to the fact that, obviously record sales are a lot slower. I know you've done really well. We'll talk about that in a little while, because you've charted and stuff, which is fantastic. But like compared to the 70s, being in a relatively well-known rock band, playing maybe shows and festivals like we are doing together.
Yeah.
Like, I like to think that like my band and your band, like at a similar kind of stage in terms of like the kind of venues and slots we play on festivals. So it is quite cool to speak to you actually, to see how different and how similar our careers are at the moment, because
definitely.
I think a lot of people kind of put us in that boat. And for anyone that is listening, there's like is it a genre that they call it new wave of classic rock? It's something that kind of developed over the last 10 years or so, and Massive Wagons are a big part of that. And I think a lot of people consider my band to be a part of that now. I know we haven't been around as long as you have, because I know you guys have been around for about over 10 years, right? Maybe
we've 12? Been going to 2009. So
wow.
12 years. Yeah, that's that's crazy thinking about that. Yeah, because people ask me how long you've been going. I'm like, I've been going 5 years. I'm like, no, we haven't. It's not 5 years anymore. Bloody hell,
it's a long time, isn't it? I know.
It's a long time.
I know.
Oh, it's mad.
Go on.
Yeah, it was 2000 because I left. I moved down to Portsmouth for a year. To do an apprenticeship, and then I came back, and it was my first week back, and my brothers said, the drummer out of the Wagons has left. Do you want to do a gig on Saturday? I think this was like the Sunday before, and I played drums when I was a kid, but I hadn't picked up a set of sticks and played for like, I don't know, I was 16 at the time, 17, and probably not played since I was about 13. Give me 20 songs to learn, and it was just like, back straight into it. So yeah, just playing covers, but that's how I got into it.
So were you called Massive Wagons then?
That's right. Yeah. So the band had been going for about 9 months before I joined. They were called Massive Wagons.
There's a funny story there as well, isn't it, with the name?
There is. Yeah. Well, Barry used to be a truck driver, so we try not to tell that story to offend the people who may take offence.
We don't have to. People can Google it if they want.
I'm sure you'll find it out there. But yeah, Barry was a truck driver, so that's the wagons. I work on the railway. There's wagons on the railway. But yes, I'll tell you over a bit.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But yeah, so there's a different drummer and there was a different bass player originally. And me and Bowser joined kind of at the same time. He joined about a month before me.
Ah, right, okay. So, Baz the singer, for anyone who's listening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then we've been playing as a cover band for like a couple of years, and then slowly started to introduce our own material in. And then we kind of packed the covers in probably after about 5 years, something like that, and it's just been original stuff sort of ever since.
Yeah, that's great.
Back, really, yeah.
Yeah, well, exactly. You've been plowing on. Is it 5 albums you've done?
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, 5 albums and an EP before that.
That's impressive. Very impressive.
Just about to. We've written the Massive Wagons 6, so just waiting for a date to get in the studio to start getting that recorded. That's the next big objective for us after the tour. Get the album recorded and out there.
Fantastic. That's amazing, man. So we'll talk about the new album. Well, it's not new; it's a year old now, is it? Pretty much. But House of Noise. I've been listening to it a lot this week. Well, the last few weeks since we started chatting and since we played that show together in Cornwall, which was another story. But it was cool to finally get to see you, because somehow we've never crossed paths. We've never been on the same bill until then, and it was really cool. I was setting up my kit while you were on stage, which wasn't ideal, but it was cool because I could watch from behind you, so I could kind of watch you playing from behind you, which is it's nice to get that perspective. But I was kind of concentrating on setting up my kit on a very uneven concrete. I don't know what it was. Well, it was a builder's yard, wasn't it? The venue was
a place where they store the topsoil, wasn't it? We were in the topsoil compound.
Was it? Oh my god!
Yeah,
but it was cool. It was unique, and it was a great gig at the end of the day. The crowd were great, and fair play to the guys for putting it on. The guys at Route 1 booking. Fair play. And they looked after us so well. The hospitality was amazing. So, yeah, that was the yard in Truro in Cornwall for anyone who kind of lives down that way. It's a new venue that they trialed a gig last year, a band called King Creature. Jack, the drummer, has been on my show. They did a socially distanced show there last August, I believe it was. But that was different because there was literally bubbles of people in squares. And I wasn't there for that, but they said it was pretty cool. But the show we did was kind of the first, free for all. I don't know what you call it. Yeah.
No COVID in Cornwall.
We think my brother Tyler, who plays bass in the band, caught COVID at that. You don't really know for sure, but he kind of tested positive later that week. It's quite likely he was there, unfortunately. So there was something knocking about.
It was great though, wasn't it, mate? It was great. We had a really good day that day. They were the top guys as well, weren't they? They're looking after you.
Yes.
Jules, he's what a legend.
Yes.
I won't want to mess with Jules though. My God.
Oh, he's nailed, isn't he? He's absolutely nailed.
Scary man. But no, absolute gentleman. And they treated us really well. It was a really good gig. Yeah. Yeah, it
was great. And it was cool. Finally, you hear the songs that I wasn't as familiar with them at that point. I did have a quick listen to the latest album, so I did recognize some of them. And you did the Curry song, I think, didn't you?
We did, yes, we did. Yeah.
What's your favorite Curry?
My favorite Curry. I'm a bit weak with my Curry. So I'm picked like a Cassandra or a Korma. I don't really have. I can tolerate some heat, but I'm such a fanny when it comes to ordering curries. I just get the same one. I just get like a Korma or a Sunday. Yeah. I should, because every time I do try like a Jal, I had some of my brother's jalfrezi a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely loved it, but I can't bring myself to order one because I'm normally absolutely starving, and if it gets there and it's too hot, I'm like, I'm ruined. So
I know what you mean, and I am a curry lover myself. Anyone who knows me will know that, and I have converted people that had never tried curry or Indian before in their life and they are now people that will try everything, hot stuff. And it's getting you, I guess, heat wise and spice wise, it's getting your taste buds kind of acclimatized and used to it and just kind of taking it a little step further. And as long as you're still enjoying the flavors, that's good. But yes, sometimes you can risk ordering something you don't quite like it, or it's too spicy, or this particular restaurant perhaps classes like a Balti as medium, and another place might do it as really spicy, and it's like, and then it puts people off. So I know what you mean. And there's
no calibration on them chilies that they put, is there? The 3 chilies. What is that? 3 out of 5, 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I know that's true.
Like, I ordered one chili one's come sometimes. It's been like, oh my god, I can't fucking eat this. But that's a creature of habit. Yeah.
That's cool.
Total fanny when it comes to spicy food.
Fair enough. Well, I guess you did. You didn't write the lyrics of the song. I'm assuming the Baz wrote them, and I'm assuming I don't know how it works with your writing, but it's a funny song. And when I first heard it, I was like, it's quite funny because I was probably still in school at the time, and I wrote a song about curry, and I put it on my MySpace page back in the day. I don't think it's there anymore, unfortunately, because I think MySpace lost a lot of data a few years ago.
Right.
And I don't have the original file of it, but like I knew it was on MySpace, so I always used to listen to it on the MySpace page. But I'm pretty sure it's not there. And yeah, it was funny because that was me and the boys, and after a gig sometimes or after a night out, and I used to work in a pub at the time, so we'd kind of finish our shift in the pub, and it was like curry, and then like loads of us would go for a curry after our shift. And it just became a thing. I put on loads of weight, and it was bad, really. But I love it. I love it. It's a good pastime of mine. So yeah, I'm glad. It's nice to share it with, and the musical, lightheartedness of it, I think is great, and it's just fun. And I think that's what I love about your band is it all just sounds fun, and it just makes you feel happy. I know there are some of the slightly more serious songs and slightly darker tone, but in general, it's just a great album. And I ran to it the other day, and it was great for running. It was because it's all up tempo.
Oh, wicked,
yeah, it just makes you feel good. So I quite like testing music out in that way. Does it keep me going? Am I thinking about it? Do I feel I want to go home yet, or I'm just enjoying the music? I can keep going. But it was my first one back after having COVID, so it didn't go that well, but I blame that on the lack of fitness. The music kept my spirits up, so thank you
brilliant, mate.
for being a part of that. So let's go a little bit back. I know you kind of mentioned that you hadn't played drums much before you kind of joined the band. So when you played when you were younger, what had you done up to that point? Did you get lessons? Who were your biggest influences, or what music did you listen to back then? It's always interesting to know.
Yeah, so my dad's probably the biggest influence on rock music. Mad into his rock music, and from a really early age, we were listening to Rainbow, Deep Purple, Rush, Black Sabbath, all that kind of stuff. Status Quo, and I absolutely loved it as well. Me and my brother, all of us did. Rock music mad, and sort of earliest memories of me playing stuff was with the pots and the pans. We used to get the pots and the pans out, the wooden spoons. My brother had got a guitar. That was it. So I was probably about 6, 7 maybe, and my brother's 4 years older than me. And he just got his first guitar, and that kind of started it really. So I was playing the pots and the pans, jamming along to Smoke on the Water, all that kind of stuff. And then I think it was about a year later, Mum and Dad got me a kit.
Oh, wow.
And I had a few lessons. I think it was maybe about 8, 9, maybe something like that.
Oh, well, really young.
Really young, young. And then my brother had just started high school then, so yeah, he was maybe in like year 8 or something. And we started a band. So I was like 9, and I was doing my first gig.
Wow.
At 9 years old in the high school. Did like a battle of the bands. We won it twice. So me and my brother, I was like 10, going into school the next day, telling everyone at primary school I'd just done a gig and stuff. So that was, that's kind of how I got into playing in bands. And then you go through that period in your as you're growing up a bit, you want to do other stuff, and you become a bit of a knob when you're in your early teenage years. And I kind of packed it in from there. You got to about 13, and I wasn't feeling it anymore. So yeah, I just packed the band that we were playing with at the time, and never did anything until came back again.
Wow.
And that was influence wise, Cozy Powell's like my
oh wow, yeah.
My top influence. Scott Travis, Judas Priest.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, probably them. Neil Peart.
Yeah.
John Bonham. Love John Bonham's drumming.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it, really.
Okay.
Cozy Powell. Just keep Bobby Rondinelli from Rainbow as well. Them, I'd say Cozy Powell, Bobby Rondinelli is what I based my sort of style on.
Cool.
Not that I'm anything like their style, but I'd like to think. Yeah, I listen to a lot of their drumming and copy lots of bits from them. If you know what I mean. Yeah,
I think I kind of like. I can hear that now, listening to like some of your fills and stuff you've done on the materials. So yeah, that kind of makes sense. It's weird because obviously I was brought up listening to kind of rock music as well. But like Rainbow was just one of those bands for some reason was never really exposed to. And when I've kind of gone back, I haven't heard a lot of the Cozy Powell recordings that he did. But a few people have told me that I play a bit like Cozy Powell. I'm like, well, that's interesting because I've never actively listened to his stuff. But I think I've probably been influenced by the people that were influenced by him.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
Like of like maybe like the early 90s music that I was into, like kind of the grunge era and, you know, Dave Grohl and your Taylor Hawkins and stuff. And I was kind of like influenced more by them. But I imagine they were, I know some of those guys were listening to all the people you just mentioned. So yeah, it is interesting how it all works, and it kind of comes out in your playing. And and another one is Brian Downey from Thin Lizzy.
Oh yes, he's amazing. He's
amazing. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Again, I knew, you know, I've heard the big hits. Thin Lizzy, never really listened to. I've listened to Live and Dangerous. I haven't really heard their albums, in fairness. But apparently my dad's old drummer, Nicky D, was massively into him. And obviously I've been exposed to his drumming my whole life, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I used to work in a music shop, and one of my colleagues said, I can hear a lot of Brian Downey in your playing. I'm like, that's weird. It's probably because I'm influenced by Mickey from Motorhead, whose main influence is Brian Downey. So it's interesting how it comes through sometimes. So
I've seen Brian Downey a couple of times, and you know, when like the drummer's the main guy, you know, or the center thing. And don't get me wrong, I love drumming, but you know, you kind of a little bit like, oh, he must just be, you know, a very good drummer, and you know, but carrying the songs are sort of carrying it. Oh my God, it was incredible. I was absolutely blown away by how good he was. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good. It
was that quite recently, or was it
before COVID? Yeah.
Oh,
in the last 3 years, something like that.
I saw him at a similar time. Then we did a festival in France, and he was on the same bill, so I got to watch him, and I was like, "Wow, he still got it."
Yeah.
I got it.
Mickey D, though, oh my God, what an animal! He's just a machine, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's great, and he's the energy he puts into it, and that's why that's what I like about kind of rock drummers is, you know, seeing the energy. And I guess I try my best. It's a bit weird being not gig fit, because even I did 2 gigs on the trot on the weekend, but it was hard work. And it's not like when back in the day when we were on tour quite regularly, I used to find it relatively easy, you know, to get through an 80-minute set or whatever. But I was struggling.
I get you there, mate. I've struggled this year. I've been trying to get fit for the gigs this year, and it's gone well. But my God, Saturday just gone. I was in bits after the gig. I was absolutely destroyed.
Really, yeah.
But, I need to get fitter for kind of a bit late now, but the tour starts next week. So
I think you'll be fine. You've done
you've
done quite a few shows, right? Since the pandemic ended, is it really ended? But since the gigs came back, you've done quite a few, haven't you? So
yeah, we've done a few now. Must be getting on like 9 or 10, something like that. So yeah, getting in. Wrists and hands are the main thing, and it's just my lungs will catch up. But yeah, wrists and hands are feeling good. So
I think you'll notice as soon as you kind of do the first 2, maybe 3 shows of the tour. And then, you'll be fine then, I think. Your body will be used to kind of doing it every night or whatever. So, let's actually talk about the tour then, because I know a lot of my listeners are from the UK. They're from kind of all over the place. But, for anyone that maybe knows about the band anyway, or doesn't know about the band, obviously go listen to Massive Wagons right now. But you're playing quite an extensive UK tour, I would say. I think this is pretty good set of dates. So from the 11th of September, you've got London, Sheffield, Nottingham, Southampton, Exeter, Birmingham, Manchester, Southend-on-Sea, Cardiff, I'll try and come to Cardiff, Newcastle, Liverpool and Glasgow. So that's a pretty good tour. So you're obviously going to be promoting the album House of Noise, which came out during the pandemic, which was a bold move. We did the same thing. We released one during all that crap, even though we could have held back and waited, but we decided to kind of go for it anyway. But you actually had an amazing chart position. You actually reached number 8. Is that correct?
Number 9. Yeah.
Number 9. Oh, number 9.
Yeah.
Still top 10, top 10. Yeah. So top 10 UK album for a rock band is amazing. So congratulations. And
thanks, mate. Cheers. Yeah.
It is, I know you've got a great fan base from just seeing your posts on social media and stuff. I can tell you've got such a great kind of hardcore fan base, and when a lot of people are kind of respond and interact with you, I think that's always a really good sign. And I'm sure they were well behind you and wanted to support you. But at the end of the day, the songs are great and the actual product is amazing. So you're not going to get a top 10 album with a crap product, so props to you.
There's a lot of curry marketing, but we do as every band will say, we've got the best fans ever. But we've got some amazingly loyal fans. It's just they're absolutely incredible. We love spending time with them. That's one of the best things about getting out there in it, seeing the fans and chatting to the fans, and they are amazing. Yeah, a lot of the guys have been there from the start as well, supporting us through the early stages as well, and we're very loyal to that as well, and just seems to be growing and heading in the right direction, picking up people along the way now, which is the momentum's kind of getting going, and we're picking up more and more as we go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, that's obviously where every band's plan is really, is to kind of grow the fan base. And, you're doing the right things. You're playing the festivals. I know you've done some great support slots, so we might talk about those in a minute. So I know you supported Lynyrd Skynyrd was probably the biggest tour you did. Was that right? Like an arena tour?
Mate. Yeah. We did a 4-day arena tour. That was incredible. That was
I bet.
Oh my God. What an experience. Playing in an arena. I shit my pants. Oh my God. It was mental going out there, and but great though. It's so good. But do you know what, mate? Once we actually did the first night, the rest of the gigs were probably the easiest gigs we'd ever done. Everything was just laid out perfectly. So much room, so much space. In-ear monitors. It was the first gig we'd ever used in-ear monitors as well, and it was just complete game changer. So
that's quite great. Bold of you to try in-ear monitors at a big gig for the first time. Fair play.
Yeah, we've not gone back since. We've not looked back. Another big help for us. Except mine packed up on fucking. I was telling you, I didn't have Saturday. They didn't work on Saturday, so I invested all of my faith in it, and I couldn't hear an absolute thing on Saturday. So God knows what it was like.
That's the problem. I think it's becoming more common now for kind of rock bands to rely on other technologies to help.
Yeah.
I know in-ear monitoring is pretty standard. I actually use it myself. I think I'm the only one in the band at the moment that uses it. But I'm wired. I'm not wireless or anything. I'm wired to a little Behringer headphone amp thing. And then that's, I let them deal with that. And I even have a wedge. I have a wedge as a backup as well. And I send a bit of kick. Idea. I send a bit of kick and snare and vocal through the wedge just in case. Like sometimes they don't stay in very well. I guess some days, and I'm always fiddling with them, or I'll rock out too much and one will fall out. And it's just like to have a backup. And sometimes you can feel if it's a nice wedge. Sometimes you get a big, massive one, don't you? Sometimes at these festivals, you can feel the kick drum a bit more then.
Yeah, you want it. Yeah. I get that, mate.
So it's all you learn from experience. Because I've done loads of shows without that backup, and I didn't like it. I didn't like knowing that I've only just got these little headphones, these little headphones, and if they go down, I can't hear anything. So
knackered, yeah.
It's just weird, but going back to your fan, the fan situation, it's amazing. What I have noticed, which I would like to talk about, is your fan club, the Patreon thing you're doing via Patreon. Because I got a Patreon page as well, so it was quite cool to see how a band was doing it, and I had a quick look and. Oh, there you go. So they're all your members. Wow.
Yeah. Watching.
Yeah. So for anyone who's listening to the audio version, Alex just showed a wall of people's faces on a big whiteboard, and so they're your fan club members' faces.
That's it, mate. Yeah. They're all watching, pulling silly faces, which is it's pretty funny. But yeah, I don't actually run anything on the fan club. It's Adam and Baz that's they solely run it. But it's basically there's a couple of levels to it. Top level gets you lots of access to loads of exclusive stuff. We recently did a barbecue for all of the top House of Noise group, which was amazing.
Wow!
I think there's only 50 people in the house. The top tier.
50. That's a lot. That's a lot, though. That's quite.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a lot of people because it's not hard. It's not easy to convince people to shell out money for you every month because it's a monthly commitment, isn't it? Because I've been trying to plug it for the podcast for over a year now, and I'm amazingly I've got some amazing followers and. But it's really hard to kind of grow that number. I don't think I've had anyone new sign up for a few months now. And it's a bit of a slog, but it's great. It's an amazing, and it does help me out. And I imagine, it is helping your band cover costs and things like you've got to, like your new place that you're rehearsing in that's like your own place now, right?
That's it, mate. Yeah. So it's a rented, so we rent it. It's an industrial unit. I'll try and show you what it's like, mate. So I'm upstairs now.
Oh wow, double floors. Oh, that's so cool.
Yes, it's another sort of game changer. When just before COVID, really, I think it was. We've been in here. I think. We've been here just before COVID. I think it was a few months before, maybe. Just a decent place to practice. We've practiced in the shittest places.
Yeah.
Honestly, the worst, the complete. Worst places you could ever think of. Derelict bars. We played in an old pub which was run down and no one was there anymore. We practiced in there. It's cold. It was wet, freezing, and like rats running about. Every village hall in the surrounding villages of where we lived.
It was whereabouts are you based now? Then I know it's kind of like Lancashire based. But for anyone who doesn't know the English, I don't really know my English geography that well, being a Welshman, but I kind of roughly know what's up north, what's west, what's east or south. But yeah, so
you know where Preston is? You know where Preston?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. Preston.
It's a bit half an hour north of Preston. There's a city called Lancaster.
Right.
And then 10 minutes north of that, there's a little town called Campbell. That's where most of us are from. Cool. Few of us have moved out Campbell and live in sort of Baz lives in Morecambe now, or Heysham. And and the rest of us sort of in and around Campbell, really.
Yeah.
There's not much here, just a little town, got a co-op, train station. That's probably about it, really. And our unit.
Cool.
So that's it. That's all we need.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you need to make music, and I guess less distractions. I mean, you can be more creative and spend more time doing the band stuff, which is obviously what you're trying to do. So yeah, it's so cool. You've got your own place, and it gives you the flexibility if you want to stay an extra hour, or, you know, you decide spontaneously, oh, should we have a jam tomorrow? You don't have to try and book in with a rehearsal place or, you know, it's so much easier. But obviously it costs money as well. So that's what I mean. The fans are helping with all, you know, those kind of expenses, really.
That's right. Yeah. So Terry, our manager, she bases herself out of here. So this is her office as well, where I'm sat at now. We've got Adam and Baz, you know, run the Patreon, which helps fund this. Obviously, you know, gig money, merch money. Last week this was the merch office as well, all behind us. So it was just walls of t-shirts and stuff. But that's all gone now. It's gone to another place. But it's all sort of kind of helped fund this place ticking over. And it's been tough through COVID. You know, that's been, you know, because we've not had a huge amount of income, so we've had to try and get a bit creative with how we're bringing in, you know, money to keep us going, basically. And now through the other side, we're starting to. This has all been so worth it. You know, it's given us the platform and the availability to write the new album and to rehearse and get tight. I can leave my kit set up, which is amazing. You know what it's like.
Totally,
setting your kit up on a Wednesday night after you finished work or something for an hour. It's just like soul destroying, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. And then packing it away at the end again, and then getting home at midnight and going to work. And yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So just saving that hour of setting up does make all the difference, and it gives you more energy to play. And
definitely, yeah. And we, you know, don't get me wrong, we did it for 10 years, and don't mind doing it at all. But it's given us the motivation. You can come to practice and you can crack straight on, and you can get a cup of tea, and you know. So no, it's been an absolute game changer for us. Just little bits, lots of little changes over the past 2 years. Really, it's sort of helped us get the last album to the place it was. So.
Yeah, it worked well. And I believe the previous album, Full Nelson, also charted, right?
It did, yeah. It got to number 16 in the charts. That was kind of a big shock to us. We were not expecting that at all.
Amazing.
We knew we would probably get top. Our goal for that album was to get top 40, you know, to get in the charts, and we released it, and then we did a full week of in-store record dates.
Cool.
Trying to sell as many copies for the week leading up to the chart. And I remember it was the Monday night midweek day, and we were in Lancaster at HMV, and we were just about to go on, and they said you're at number. I think we were in the top 10.
Wow.
And somebody died the day after.
Oh.
And I can't remember who it was. And they load of best of. You know, compilation
and streaming, and everyone streams their whole back catalogue constantly for a week.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was who died. But anyway, yeah. So we were expecting somebody to cark it when we released House of Noise, but luckily didn't. That's
great. Obviously, congratulations as well. I was listening to that album today. I'm not as familiar with that one as the new one, but yeah, they both great, feel good rock. Catchy, melodic, great drumming, great, you know, this great catchy guitar bits and some cool solos. Actually, I like. So your brother playing the solos, or
that's right, mate. Yeah, a bit of a mix really. So right. Full Nelson. Steve had just joined Full Nelson, and he did all of the rhythm for that. Not much of the lead, but on the very latest album, the solos are sort of 50-50 split.
Cool.
Steve's done a lot of the writing for House of Noise as well. So we've got two of them there, and Adam can almost be a bit more like a producer. Steve comes up with an idea. Adam can stand back and sort of say, well, we can maybe try this differently, or try that differently, or what about if I do this? And the pair of them work really, really well together. So it's
awesome.
Definitely helped. But yeah, like I was going back to your point before, we don't really take ourselves too seriously. You know, we're not, you know, obviously we're not a joke band. We don't write joke songs, but
no,
we're on the light-hearted side of we're just five working lads. If you know that, 5 working class lads, and we enjoy playing music. That's kind of who we are, really.
Yeah, and it comes through in the songs, it comes through in the videos, especially. Some of the videos are quite, like, well, just fun. They're just fun videos, aren't they? So I implore anyone listening to go to your YouTube channel, or I don't know, some of them might be on your record label's channel. That seems to happen these days. The record label get all the views. I guess that's how it works. But so you're on Earache Records again, which is a really great label actually, and some good bands on there. So obviously you're happy. You seem to be happy there. You're charting in the charts, so they must be doing their job well. And
Earache are amazing. Yeah, they're absolutely fantastic with us. Yeah, since we started working with them, nothing but great. Great working relationship. They're great guys and girls down there as well.
Cool.
They're always down at gigs as well, which we always enjoy catching up with them guys, and they're really supportive of what we do, and they like our music. So hopefully long may it continue. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it sounds like they properly believe in the band, and they come to watch you and stuff. It's not just another band on the roster. That's what one person has decided to sign. So it's great that they get involved, and I think that makes a huge difference. And you're supported more then, and you know that they've got belief and they want to help you.
Definitely, they're really creative with some, off the wall sort of ideas and stuff, coming up with different ideas which you never think. Thinking outside the box. They're really good for that. Very creative. So, but no, great. Hopefully this will continue. Yeah. Certainly, the next album is really important for us. This is as we said it for every album, but this is probably the most important one for us to push on again and try and sort of do more of the same and improve on what we did for the last few albums.
Of course. Don't really say, from my experience, don't really say it in November.
In November, yeah.
Because that's when we did ours, and it was just all the Christmas songs started creeping in, Christmas albums. Yeah. And then, luckily we were really happy. We were number 40. We reached number 40, which was a big deal for us. That was our goal, to get in the top 40. We just about squeezed in, but we didn't. When we originally announced the release date, which was I think it was November the 13th, so fairly early in November. We weren't expecting it to be filled of Christmas albums at that point. In December, yes, but not in November. But it really went against us. So I don't know. Maybe we would have got a little bit higher if it wasn't for those albums. And it's the usual ones that came out years and years ago, plus the new ones that have just been released. So it's the usual stuff. It just creeps in, and because everyone streams stuff, that all gets added then, doesn't it? And the streaming figures get added the last day or something, from what I understand anyway.
That's right. Yeah. It comes in really late. It can really, from the midweek position is it doesn't factor in the streams, and then it's a completely different picture by the end of the week. And
even bands like us, I'm sure we get a decent number of streams compared to kind of your big pop artists. It's not even comparable numbers, is it? So
a million, I know exactly what you mean there, mate.
Yeah, that's cool. But I look forward to the next one. And so you're obviously going on tour now. You're not going to be playing any of these new songs yet, because you're going to wait till they're all recorded and all that before you introduce.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Yeah, so it's kind of because House of Noise came out just in lockdown. We've not played any of the songs, and this album feels like it's been out for ages.
Yeah,
and we're wanting to play new stuff, and we're putting the set together last week. And I'm like, oh, Ross, sick of these songs already. We've not even played them, So we're it's very House of Noise heavy.
Cool.
This tour, that is, we're going to try and play pretty much every single song, with the exception of 2 maybe. So
that's
across the tour, we'll swap in a couple. Play 3 gigs with one set, and then we'll do a slightly different set for another.
That's
3.
cool.
So
that's
I think
good.
We'll get the majority of them, in the tour set at some point, which will be cool. But we've played them tonight, and a great fun playing them. So it's going to be good. It's going to be a good tour, this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it looks good, and the venues. I'm familiar with a lot of the venues. That's one thing I was going to ask you. Do you have a favorite place to play or a favorite venue that you really like going back to?
I do. I love Home First Picture Down.
Okay, we've not done that.
Mate, it's amazing. It's just it's an amazing little town as well, village. It's where they filmed Last of the Summer Wine.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's got like a nice river coming through, and in the downtime, like after sound check, I went for a walk. I was out for about 45 minutes just walking around. It's such a great place. I really want to go and watch a band there just when we've got nothing on, I'll go there for the weekend. But yeah, Home Firth is definitely my favourite. I do like the Garage in Glasgow. I love the Garage.
Yeah, I think I'm doing that this November. I think so. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I've done it before though. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, where else do I like? Islington's good. In London.
Academy, is it?
Yeah, the Academy. Yeah, Islington Academy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you where it's good. The Patty Pavilion in
Swansea.
Yeah, that's good. But it had a curry house next door, didn't it? But I believe the curry house is gone.
Oh right, I didn't know. My story with the Patty Pavilion is because I live in Wales, but Swansea for me is quite far to go for a gig, so I don't often go to Swansea to watch bands.
Whereabouts do you live, Dan?
I live, I guess I live in the valleys above Cardiff and Newport.
Kind of like Evervale, sort of.
Yeah, kind of that. Yeah, kind of maybe not quite as far up as that, but yeah, that kind of area near Caerphilly is where I live.
Caerphilly. All right, yeah. Caerphilly, yeah.
The big castle and all that. Yeah, so I'm for me, like going to Cardiff is fairly easy. Swansea feels like a bit of a trek. I have done it, and I might go and see someone at the end of the year. But I played there when I was a lot younger, supporting Fozzy, which is funny.
All right.
But and then I played there with my other band that I was in at the time. I'm not anymore. At the end of 2019, we supported Those Damn Crows. Obviously, those guys. And I don't recall. I've only heard about this curry place since, so I don't know if it's there now. But a few people have mentioned it. But I've never tried. I've never tried it, sadly. But
I believe we're supposed to be playing there next year.
Nice.
I'm not actually sure when, but the curry house isn't there anymore. So yeah, we're gonna have to cancel the gig. No, baby. That's a great venue.
It is cool, and there's a nice community of music lovers in the Swansea area. But because I've always been more Cardiff based, Cardiff has always been like the local. It's not even my hometown, but it's like a hometown show. It's Cardiff normally. But this year we're doing Swansea with the Bastards. We're doing the Patty Pavilions. We'll see what happens, see if people buy the tickets for that one, because it's quite a large venue. So it's kind of like see what happens, because we've not really played Swansea that much, but hopefully people will travel. And we're not doing Cardiff. We're doing Bristol, so.
Brilliant, mate!
I might even live closer to Bristol. I don't know. I'll have to look on Google Maps to see which one's closer. But kind of that kind of area. But yeah, it should be cool. I'm not here to plug my tour, but we're touring in November. You're touring in September, so go and see Massive Wagons in September. And I also noticed you've got a few gigs in Germany. So have you played outside the UK a lot or much at all so far? Or?
We've done a bit. So we supported Thunder on a German tour.
Oh wow!
That was probably 3 years ago. So I think we did 8 dates with them guys. That was incredible. So that was our first real proper tour into Europe. We did all over all the big, Munich, Frankfurt, Berlin.
Nice.
All the big places, and it was a hell of a tour that. We're all big Thunder fans as well. Harry James, he's just an absolute legend. Such a good drummer as well.
Yeah, I haven't approached him yet, but one of my he's a mate. I think you know him as well, Charley Farley.
That's it.
He keeps saying, you've got to try and get him on. But I just haven't really got approached him yet, but hopefully he might do it one day, you know.
He's a great guy, mate. Yeah, such an easy guy to get on with. A hell of a drummer as well. Yeah, loads of good stories to tell as well. Yeah,
but he's got the stories.
Yeah, he's got stories. Yeah. So yeah, we've done. So we did Germany. We've been to Ibiza a few times.
The Hard Rock Hell, is it? Or?
Yeah. So I think we've done that 4 times.
Wow.
We've been to Romania. We did a festival in Romania just before the summer before COVID.
Oh, cool.
We've been to Belgium twice, I think it is, and that's kind of it really.
Okay.
For Europe. So we're going back to Germany. We've got three dates in Germany in October to try and just get back out there. Fairly small venues. Just to get our name going again and gather a bit of momentum up out there and start off exactly what out there like we've done here. Start off small, and every time we go back, try and play a little bit bigger place, and up them guys who've seen us bring a few friends and sort of take it from there, really.
Exactly. And yeah, I'll give them a little plug, because I know I've got a few regular listeners in Germany. So you do it. It looks like
brilliant. Yeah.
So let's have a look. I'm on your website now. So you've got Munich on the 6th of October, Crossroads Festival Rock Palast in Bonn on the 7th, and then you're in Hamburg on the 8th. So, if anyone lives near those kind of towns, cities, to go, know that they can come and see you, and because it's not a place I guess you're going to be going to that regular, and is them showing up to come and see you would help a lot, I'm sure. You want to keep going back, so you want to sell the tickets. I know what it's like.
That would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, anybody that is listening, if you can get down, come and have a beer with us, and we can have a catch up. And that would be amazing. Yeah,
sure. I'm sure we love Germany. It's one of our favorite places. It probably is our favorite place to tour, really, and I think it's where we achieve the best numbers. So we can't wait to get back. So I'm really sorry. Because of COVID, we've had to postpone the German tour twice. It's eventually happening next year, I think now. I think that's the plan anyway. I can't keep up with all these postponing tours and reschedule things. Rescheduling is a bit of a pain in the ass, but, we'll get there eventually and it'll be fun. And good luck with your shows there and anything else in the future. And hopefully Brexit doesn't make it too difficult for us,
Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah. It's going to be a strange one, isn't it, when we get back going again? And
I don't know. We've just done our first carnet with all our gear, so we've had to list out all of our gear.
All right,
And you pay a lot of money to do that, and then we haven't even looked into the merchandise thing yet. But it's not going to be easy. Well, it's not. It's going to be a total
nightmare, isn't it?
It's going to be harder than it used to be. Let's put it that way.
No red tape. Let's get rid of the red tape.
I know. But it is what it is. We've got to try and deal with it. But it's just going to make it more expensive and just more difficult to be able to kind of fund the tours. Whether you're supporting or headlining, it's going to be tricky. But
yeah, definitely. And that's
it's great. It's great that you're giving it a go so early. So well done. I think that's good.
Well, that's what we want to send a message to the Europeans that we want to get, no matter how difficult it's going to be, how much of a pain in the ass it's going to be. We will get over. And we'll get, we'll do whatever we need to do to get playing again. We went over to Ireland 2 weeks ago, and it was the same again. I think a lot of bands possibly might have, looked to postpone it or cancel it, and we were like, no, we're booked, so we're going. We'll make a night of it, even with limited numbers, and we'll do what we need to do. And we were at the Diamond Rock Club in Ballymena.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if you've been there before.
I've never even been to Ireland. I've never been to Northern Ireland. It's weird considering how close Wales is to Ireland. I've never been. We are going in November for our first kind of little jolly there. We're doing Belfast and Dublin.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
So again, we booked these before Brexit. Well, it was before Brexit was actually happening, but now we've got to. It's weird because obviously all the contracts and the fee and all that was meant to be pre-Brexit, Brexit, but now we're going to have all the added costs now just for the one gig. But it is what it is. We'll get over. If you book us, we will come.
Definitely, that's it. And, it wasn't actually too bad, mate. Flying and the airport rigmarole was actually all right.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a lot harder than what it was, but no, it was. We were over there, and we spent more time waiting around at the airport.
Yeah.
Than it did actually bumming travelling. Yeah, but within an hour we were there, and the Irish don't mess about getting the luggage off. I mean, I barely even walked off the plane, and they're chucking all the guitars onto the shooting off the conveyor belt. And the guy who runs the Diamond Rock Club, a guy called Dane, he's an absolute top guy.
Cool.
Absolute legend. And he was in there. I don't know how he got in there. Carrying all the gear out. Yeah, I know. How do you get in here, mate? He's like, oh, don't worry about that.
That's quite concerning, actually, because it should be
a bit concerning. Yeah.
How can a random person come into the luggage collection area? But all right, whatever. It is what it is. Now, so I don't mind asking. I like to know then. So, did you have to declare your instruments or anything at the border, or
nothing? Northern Ireland was.
Oh, that was not. Right.
Yeah, it's just like
that's irrelevant then. Yeah, that's irrelevant.
I'm not sure what it would have been like if we were going to Dublin and.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know in November.
Yeah, let me know, mate. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it anyway. I know there's a few guys in Ireland message me, so yeah, hopefully we're playing near you. I don't know if we are. I don't know where you all live, but yeah, Dublin or Belfast if that's closer.
Drum for the Song podcast.
Hi, I hope you're enjoying this episode of Drum for the Song. I just wanted to briefly interrupt the interview to tell you about my Patreon page, which is a place where you can support the podcast and, of course, support myself. You can sign up to one of the 3 tiers on there. There's one that's £3 a month, one that is £5 a month, and one that is £10 a month. There are loads and loads of exclusive benefits to signing up, including bonus episodes, merch discounts, Christmas card for myself. If you sign up to the top tier, I'll send you a pair of my drumsticks. Loads of other stuff. So go check it out. It's patreon.com/drum for the song. And another way you could support me if you're interested, if you're not bothered about the Patreon thing, if you go to my official website, drumforthesong.com, you can send a donation via PayPal. So, thanks for watching this and enjoy the rest of the show.
Drum for the Song podcast.
Let's talk a little bit about your drums then, because I quite like the look of your drum kit. And is it like a bit of a custom job?
It is, mate. Yeah. It's a jalapeno custom, and it was hand built by a guy called Dave Nuttall, who was the drummer in the Toy Dolls.
Right.
Did the Toy Dolls. Did the Nelly the Elephant song and a lot of other punk, great punk bands. Really big. Still big now, I think, when they play. Really big back in the day, and he is just an encyclopedia of drum knowledge. He just knows, everything about tone and pitch and manufacturing drums. And he actually, we practiced at they're called the Music Co-op in Lancaster, paid to practice type place. And we were in there practicing. I didn't know the guy, and he just came in and he said, if you're interested in buying a drum kit, please consider what I do. And he said, I've got a kit next door if you want to have a look. So I went and had a play. And I wasn't interested in buying a kit at the time. And they were very nice drums. And he showed me this kit that it was actually packs away like a Russian doll. So the bass drum detaches. So what part of the head detaches, and you put the floor tom inside it. And then the big floor tom does the same. The lid lifts off, and you can put one of the rack toms in. And I thought, oh wow, that's a great idea. And he said, yes, if you're a touring band in the splitter van, it might mean 2 more boxes of t-shirts that you can fit in.
Absolutely.
Think about how much more income you can bring in. I thought, oh, what a great idea. I didn't really think much of it at the time. And then probably about 6 or 7 months later, I was like, right, I fancy a new kit. And I like to have the local, somebody local building the kit. I thought, yeah, I'm going to shout him up. So
yeah.
I give him a shout, and he's a great guy. And we chatted for hours about drums and all the different options that he could do, and what he thinks would suit me. And I thought, you know what, just build me a kit that you think could suit me. I got a little bit greedy. I was like, I'll go for 4 toms. I'll go for 2 rack toms and 2 floor toms. Build it Russian doll style. So all of my my shells, including the snare, goes into 2 cases.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. And for us at the time, going in the transit vans and stuff, and it was just unbelievable how much extra stuff we could get in. And he made this kit. He's like, "What colour do you want it in?" I was like, "I'm gonna have to pick something a little bit extravagant here." So I was like, "Yellow." You don't see many yellow kits around nowadays. Yeah, and the ones which I've seen have been really nice. It's like yellow and black. Apparently the black was black lugs and black rims and stuff. We had to import them in from Germany and stuff, which added a few extra difficulties for him. But then it came, and I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing, and I absolutely love it. It's incredible. The Russian doll style kit. Although I probably wouldn't buy another one, just purely because of the situation that we're in now. With when we go out, we've got ample room, if you know what I mean, for extra stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I wouldn't buy anything other. If I was playing in we were getting around in a transit van, I would get a Russian doll kit any day. I was really worried about them going out of tune and them getting damaged and stuff. But you look after it. It stays in tune. It's so well built. It's incredible. That's so that jalapeno custom is an absolute thing of beauty. It really is. And he's actually doing me. I'm getting even greedier. I've got an 8-inch rack tom being manufactured. Ooh, and an 18-inch floor tom. So I'm going to get rid of the 14-inch floor I've got now. So I've got 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm going to get rid of the 14. Yeah. And have the 16 at 8, 10, 12. And then 16, 18 on the floor. So it's going to be an absolute beast.
That is a monster of a kit with the three rack toms. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That'd be fun. I have this a lot of, especially when my band are weird. Sometimes we play kind of more metal festivals and gigs where we're not really a metal band, but I show up in my little 1 rack 2 floor tom kit, and it's always the smallest kit on the bill. Why do you only use 1 rack tom? I'm like, well, I'm just used to it. I've been using 1 rack tom since I was about 16. Yeah, I'm just kind of used to it now. So to add more would just kind of, I'd have to change the way I play so much to kind of, sometimes I think, it'd be nice to have 1 slightly smaller one just for fills and stuff to give me that extra thing. Yeah. But I'm like, I used to play 1 up, 1 down for so many years, and then I added a floor tom, and that was only because I like going big slammy kind of low notes. And I recently, my newest kit is 16 and 18, so you'll love it. You're gonna love it. Nice. Yeah. Because I used to have a 14 and a 16. I was always kind of trying to tune my 14 as low as possible to kind of make it sound like a 16, I suppose. And then I know what you mean. Yeah. And just to achieve the sound I wanted. But deep down, I think I just needed larger drums, which now I've got. So it's perfect, man. It's great. So you'll love it. Man, you'll love it when that arrives. And I can see why you're doing that. And I didn't even know about the Russian doll kit. I heard of the company. I knew they were a custom drum company. Yeah. You don't see many of them around, so that's cool.
No, that's his unique selling point. His solid kits, non-Russian dolls they're incredible as well. Yeah. But the Russian, you just don't see many people. I don't know why it hasn't. I don't know why it hasn't cottoned on for people, and it's massive really, because it's so good for saving space. It can be a little bit of a faff, like at the end of a gig. Whereas you could just bundle everything in boxes. You've got to take the lids off and put them in. But it doesn't add much. It doesn't add, if you think about, profit on tour or whilst you're away, and it could be in the difference of hiring a smaller van, and which is 50 quid less a day or something like that.
It does make a difference. Yeah. This is really interesting because we've got to the stage now with our backline. We need either a splitter van and a trailer on the back of it, or we need like a big long wheelbase van, and then we'll have to travel in something else. But because of the weekend shows that we just did now, we booked them quite last minute. We couldn't get a splitter van. Every splitter van in the whole of the UK was already booked. We couldn't get one anywhere.
Really? Yeah.
So we were like, well, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? So yeah, we ended up, so we just hired a big van, without a trailer. Everything got in there easy. So we had a driver, two of the boys sat in the front with the driver, and then my brother just took his car. So me and my brother and my dad were in the car. It was quite nice in a weird way. It was different. It was a bit weird being separate, because it was kind of like, you're like texting each other, oh, which services you stopping at and things like that. It was different, but, you get to the stage, and it doesn't help, because just to warn you, my 18-inch floor tom, it's pretty, once it's in a nice case, I guess yours will be different if it's Russian doll style, but, I think it's literally like having an extra bass drum.
I can imagine. I bet it's huge. Yeah. Well, this one's actually going to be another case for me actually now.
Right.
So it's not. I didn't want it as a Russian doll type one. Not that I've got nothing against them, but I just want, if I had the option, I would pick solid. So I've just gone with a solid one. But it's going to be, like you said, mate. It's going to be huge.
It's going to sound cool. Yeah. So, do you know what kind of materials or what shells, what materials used for the shells, or what wood or anything out of interest? I'm into this stuff. I know not everyone is, but I like knowing.
I don't, mate. Actually, no.
No, that's cool.
I think it might be maple.
Yeah.
I'll find out, mate. I should know this.
I think it's cool. I didn't used to know when I was younger, like what everything was made out. And then I kind of got into I used to work in a music shop, and I got a bit nerdy about stuff then. And I was like, well, this is this birch has got a nice treble and a nice bass. And, and I don't know. I kind of like a bit more of a nerd. And I'm sure there's some of the listeners, not all my listeners want to know that kind of stuff, but I'm sure some of them do. So a lot of my listeners are not drummers. So that's why I try not to talk about drums for too long, but I appreciate the fact that, these guys listen and they want to know, what you're up to in the music, and they love it. And, it's really cool. And one thing I wanted to ask, I know we've mentioned your brother a few times, because you're in a similar situation to me. What's it like being in a band with your brother?
Yeah, it's great, mate. That question gets asked all the time. Yeah, no, it's great. We get on great, as you can tell. You guys do. This is we see each other. I see Adam more than all my family, really, including my own kids at the minute. It's like, but yeah, no, it's great. We get on really well. We enjoy having a beer together. It's a good laugh. He's a very good, very, very extremely talented musician as well, and songwriter. And we've got we gel really well together, particularly when writing songs. Quickly get on the same sort of level, and
I know what you mean.
Thinking, and you can tell what I'm thinking sometimes. We've listened to a lot of the same sort of music as well, which has helped over the years. So his ideas sort of link with my parts, or I play a little bit of guitar as well, so I kind of understand the principles behind what he's trying to do sometimes as well. So but he's nice. We get on great, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
I know. Yeah, I was going to say, sorry. Yeah, go on. Yeah, that's
what you said. My dad came down at the weekend, and it's the first time he's seen us for years.
Oh wow!
And he's like, you can tell by but it's the first time since lockdown and all that, and just tell how sort of happy he was. Two of us being up there, which is cool. So.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really proud of you, and especially when you're getting in the charts. I bet he's loving that, and seeing you play the big fair. Yeah, I'm sure he's really proud of you. And yeah, I know what you mean about kind of this slightly musical telepathy between like me and my brothers. Like we kind of know, even if we're just jamming like some new riff someone's making up on the spot, and we'll just kind of play along with each other. And it's just like we've been rehearsing it, and we kind of know what each other's going to do. And it's strange. Like I know they say like twins have that kind of thing. Like none of us are twins or anything, but there's definitely a connection there, I think, isn't it? And,
definitely, mate. Yeah. I definitely get that. Especially you spend so much time with each other, and in and around the same sort of people and environment and music and stuff. There are certain times where you're really, really locked in with things like that, and that kind of happened in the studio as well. We were really lucky to get that chemistry when we were recording particularly the last album, which was great.
Awesome. Where did you record it?
It was at Andy Sneap's studio. Andy Sneap from Judas Priest. I can't remember the name of this.
I forget the name as well.
Yeah, bloody hell, I should know. What
people can Google it. People can Google it.
Yeah. that is the place to live, mate. Oh my God. Yeah, that is what a guy he is. He's absolutely living the dream, that man.
I was watching him at Bloodstock, and I was like, he's loving it up there. He's absolutely loving it.
Yeah, he's living the life, proper bachelor pad. Yeah.
And talented bloke.
Very, very talented bloke. Yeah. And I think because we could stay there and sleep in and stuff, and we were around it all the time. That was big help in getting the chemistry right and getting the right sort of vibe to the album, which was
great. Cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure where we're recording at. The Judas Priest have selfishly booked that recording studio for I think 6 months.
Six months.
I think it's something like that. Yeah, it's a good few months. I'm pretty sure it's 6 months.
Wow.
So we're not. I don't think we're going back there. Or we're not going back there.
Yeah.
So it's to be confirmed where we're going next
yeah.
week.
Oh, so it'll be interesting to see. I just realised we didn't talk about the rest of your gear that you use.
Oh yes.
If you got any well, just talk about what you use. But have you got endorsements and stuff, or are you kind of free?
Currently not. No, I'm free agent.
Nice.
Yeah. I've so sticks wise, I use ProMark. I use ProMark 5Bs in the Shirakashi in the Japanese oak.
Nice.
Them sticks are just they just don't break. They're absolute monsters. Yeah. And I was finding I've used every single stick I bet that's out there, pretty much every weight, loads of different weights, and I finally settled something that's just perfect. They're a little bit longer than normal sticks.
Okay.
Because they're in that Japanese oak, they're indestructible, basically.
Yeah.
And if they do break, they never snap. They'll like split, and you can carry on playing for a bit till you get to a perfect time to pick up another stick or whatever. So at the time I was going through hundreds of sticks, like loads, like 5 or 6 a gig, and I'm like, it's not just like it's not just me that makes the band look bad, if you know what I mean. I'm always going out of time and stuff, so I was like, I need to do something different here.
It does make a difference having reliable, it's massive, knowing that it's very, very, very small chance that you're going to break one. Dropping a stick is one thing. Like, I don't do that much, luckily. But when one breaks, and then you're like, damn. And it's like, and it's unexpected. It really makes a difference. So I've got a nice, reliable.
What do you use, mate?
I use a brand called Vincent from Sweden.
All right, okay.
They're actually hickory sticks. But I've tried so many different ones. I have tried the ProMark oaks back in the day, and I did think they were really good. The whole ProMark range was really good. Like, it was quite a few different models. I quite like the 747s. They do. That was a kind of nice in between.
The Neil Peart one. So, do you know? I bought a pair.
I didn't try it.
From the music shop. Yeah.
Cool.
747. I think it's 747 Neil Peart range. I think it is. It's got Neil Peart's name on it. I'm sure it was.
Oh, right.
I picked them up and I thought they're a little bit lighter than the 5Bs. And I thought, hey, these feel pretty good. So I bought a pair. I'm just going to try them out.
Try them out. Yeah. That's cool, man. But so I go back. I go use Vincent, and I don't know what it is, like, but I don't. I'm going to bore my listeners now, but I did an experiment on tour. I've done it twice actually, and I did 16 shows with the same pair.
Wow,
and that's including sound checks. And like at the end of those 16 gigs, they were worn down. They didn't break. And like, if I can do that, and I did it again on another tour, and I think it was like 14. So it was a close number, but it shows it is amazing. They're really good. And I like that way they feel. They're not the cheapest sticks in the world. They come from Sweden. So, with imports and stuff, it's not, and because they're not a massive company like your Promarks and your Vicfirths and your Vatas. I guess they're probably made in a bit smaller numbers. They're not the cheapest things in the world, but I don't mind spending a few extra quid per pair, knowing they're going to last me so much longer. So
100%, mate. Yeah. Totally get you there. Yeah, and they are quite expensive for what I pay for the Promark ones, but I like I get them from the local music shop in Morecambe, Promenade Music. So it's kind of doing, helping them guys out as well, and they give me good discounts. I'm always in there, and it's kind of a good, a good thing that I wouldn't turn down an endorsement. Don't get me wrong, but I'm happy. I'm happy with what I don't mind paying a few quid to the local shop.
That's great,
for what I get.
I can totally empathize with that. And that's one thing, since I've kind of been in a band where I think most things I kind of got to deal with the manufacturers or the distributors, I do miss, because I used to work in a music shop myself as well. I can really understand how big of a difference it makes. And I do feel a bit, I don't feel bad, but the fact that I'm not giving my money to the local music shops as much. Sometimes there's things I need, or I need them quickly, or for the sake of, a $5, I might as well go and buy it locally, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I don't get anything free or anything. I still pay. I got to pay for everything. But, I still try and buy things locally when I can, and I share things online, and, I try and at least, and I'll try and plug them. If someone else is looking for something, I'll say, I think they sell them here. Or, that helps indirectly to some degree. And like, I've always been friendly with all the local drum shops in South Wales as well. So, if anyone, I doubt anyone is listening, but if anyone is listening, I'll be in at some point to buy some bits. And, I'm sorry, I'm not buying drum kits so much and cymbals anymore and things like that.
No, I mean, if someone came and gave, offered me an endorsement, I would, I can't see myself moving away from Promark. That's my only thing.
My advice is to use what you like. Use what you like.
Yeah.
So wait until, instead of going with some shitty stick company that are offering you free sticks, or, and that happens to me all the time. And I'm like, I'm really happy with what I've got. Yeah, you're offering me a better deal or cheaper. I'm like, I'm really happy with what I'm using. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm in no rush to, I've had a few offers from some bits that I've been sent, and I'm just, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing now. So that's sticks. So, cymbals now, I've got a brand new set of Minels on at the minute.
I did see. They look beautiful.
Yeah, so this is they're incredible. Well, I've actually borrowed I've got a set of custom alloys. So I've got an 18 and a 19th crash, 20 inch ride, and then I've got an 18-inch Byzance as well, which is mine. And I bought a set of Minel custom black hi-hats today. Ooh. Actually from the music shop. Yeah. So.
That's so cool, man. You're buying them from the shop. That's great.
I'm going to show you, mate. I don't know if you can see them down there, but
I'll
send you some pictures, mate.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, they look and sound nice. I previously used a company called Saluda, so I had a bit of like a discounted kind of endorsement. They sent me some stuff at discounted price, if you know what I mean. But
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, and they were fantastic, lovely cymbals, but it just I was just ready for something a little bit different. Minels, I probably used every cymbal make under the sun as well. I've had full sets of Zildjian, Paste, and I really settled with these minor ones. You know,
cool.
They complement our sound. I think that's what. I love Zildjian cymbals and I love pace cymbals. But these minor ones suit Massive Wagons. I think that's got to go for the sound that suits your band, don't you? So that's
exactly. I think that's and they
look sexy as well.
I think I saw them close up. I think someone in the band uploaded a photo of you when you were rehearsing this afternoon.
Yes, yeah.
The cymbals look quite nice in the photo, so I think I liked the post on something. So good. Nice. And I noticed you use like a mixture of heads. You use it Remo and Aquarian. Is that right?
That's right, mate. Yeah.
Doing my research, but that's cool. That you, I guess, because you're not indoors or whatever, you can use whatever the hell you like. And
definitely, mate. Yeah. I've probably used every single. I've used all sorts. Every skin and stuff, and just over 12 years worth of trial and error. I've got, I think, kind of what suits my sound as a drummer and what suits the band. But yeah, I've got the Remo controlled sound with a dot underneath. That's my skin of choice for the snare.
Yeah,
I've got hazy at Remo hazy on the bottom, and then I've got Aquarian Response 2s right across the and that's Dave from Jalapeno, his recommendation. So
cool.
I just basically he knows what he built the drums.
Yeah.
I'll go with what he says. So
he obviously knows what he's talking about and what's going to suit those sizes and that shell combination and all that. So yeah, why and if you like the sound and the way you tune them, why change it?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and I've used Evans. I love it. I love Evans. I recorded with Evans actually. That's what the studio engineers wanted. Evans G2s.
Interesting.
Got Evans G2s, and they sounded great. That was in coated. I'm not a big fan of coated tom heads for some reason. I don't know why.
I like them.
Never get. Yeah. It's just personal preference. So. Yeah. Gone back to the clears, and I love having the clear ones on. I don't know why. It probably sounds exactly the same, but
there is a difference in sound. With the clear, you normally get a bit more of an attack and a bit more resonance. But with the coated, it's a little bit of a darker kind of sound.
Yeah,
and like you arguably a slightly shorter kind of sustain on the top head ish. But there's so many different ways you can tune a drum. Combinations of the top and bottom head. It is what it is. So, I was talking about this the other day. One of the reasons I went to coated tom heads. I don't know if you guys do this, but with my old heads, we sign them and sell them on merch.
Yes,
but
yeah.
Everyone always wants the white ones. The white ones always sell better.
Right. Yeah,
that's not the only reason I do it, but it's definitely got something. Look, you always get stuck with the clear heads at the end of the tour that no one wants to buy, even though they're signed. All the white ones go first. So it's
that's
quite
a
funny.
Good point, actually, mate. Yeah, they will look better as well. The white ones, yeah,
they do, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just one thing. But I love the sound. I like I said, the low sounding dark toms. So it suits me, Anyway, so I use the Remo vintage Emperor coateds on my toms at the moment. So it's like a double ply. It's probably similar to, I don't know the Aquarian so well. Response 2s suggest it's 2 plies.
2 plies, yeah.
It's just a similar thing to that, but with coated. So
yeah.
But the vintage version is like slightly thicker, I think, than the normal Emperors. I don't know. There's so many different varieties, but I try them. I'm like, yeah, they work. Let's stick with them.
Crack on, yeah. What else have I got? So hardware, I've got some black hardware. I've got black Mapex hardware.
Nice.
For the cymbal stands, which they don't manufacture anymore. I went to buy another one. So part of the kit. So on the bass drum, what it's got the two holes. One hole for your my second rack tom insert,
right?
Hole,
yeah.
And it's got another hole next to it it's called a Space Saver ride stand.
I know. It's like, that's so cool. So you don't have
having a set of legs. Yeah. Just drops in, and you mount your ride from it, and you can put it up. You can almost so the booms pointing backwards so you can get your ride in. If you've got a big ride, your boom's like pointing backwards just so it's not like right on top of your knee, if you know what I mean.
No,
you can position it, manipulate it so it's exactly where you want it. But I've stopped using Space Saver Ride fairly recently just because of not having sound issues, but felt the sound quality would be better of the bass drum without having a ride on it, if you know what I mean. So
yeah, makes sense.
So yeah, I've gone on to buy another black stand, and nowhere seems to manufacture. Mapex have stopped manufacturing them. I did get one from Gear for Music. Luckily, they had some in stock.
To try and find some second-hand ones or something, maybe.
Yeah, that was my next port of call actually. Yeah, and that's how I got I got a black Meinl hi-hat stand on eBay, and it was an X display one. And it was just like, I'd logged onto eBay, it just come up, and I was like, oh my God, this is just like perfect look. So I've been looking for ages, nothing's ever coming up. So I was like, emailed the guy, tell me what you want. Nice. Tell me the price. I'm paying it. I gave him an extra tenner. I was like, just secure the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, managed to get it. Very lucky. But yes, everything's black. It's all black and yellow now.
It looks cool. Yeah, it is important, the kind of look. And I think if you just had a random chrome stand in there, it'd just be like, what? It would look strange. And I know we drummers, I think we've all got an element of OCD. I think.
Yeah, oh God, yes.
It's very common with so many drummers I speak to. And I know I've got it, but like it's definitely a common trait within the drum community, I think. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Very rare.
My kit could be set up. It could be set up perfectly, and my drum tech sets it up perfectly every time. And I'm like, no, that I've got to adjust that, the tiny little bit. Yeah. No, I'm proper. I get you there, mate. I'm proper OCD with all sorts of stuff, really.
It's like that little centimeter or half a centimeter or an angle is slightly different. Like it makes you play differently, and you'll notice it. And you're like, and you've got to get it right before the gig, ideally. So I totally know what you mean, man. No, that's great. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing some more photos of your drums on the tour. I'm sure you'll post some photos and stuff like that, and because they are very, very nice drums. So appreciate that. That's cool.
I'll get some. I'll speak with Dave. I'll get some good nerdy content on how they were built as well, and I'll get I'll write like a big brief, a big description of how they're made and stuff. And Dave will love that as well.
Yeah. And so well, I normally ask this at the end. So if people are interested in this, I think I've only got you on Facebook. Are you on any of the other kind of social media places, or you're not?
I am, yes. So I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
So Alex Massive Wagons, I think it is. Yeah, Alex Massive Wagons on Instagram.
Okay. I'll add you
and that's it for myself. Yeah, add us up. Yeah, I'm trying to do a bit more as of late on that. I can be pretty rubbish at social media at times, so I'm really trying to. Now we've come back, I'm trying to have a big push on the socials and keeping everybody updated with what's going on. So I put up loads of pictures recently. Cool. Past few gigs, there's some really good pictures in there. But yeah, just Facebook and Instagram for me, mate. Yeah. Cool. I've not managed the other ones. Two's enough. Two's
yeah, they're the best. They are the best ones in my opinion. I've got a Twitter account that I've got the notifications turned off, so it doesn't notify me. I just go on there occasionally, post about the podcast. That's the problem when I've got to post about a podcast. It's kind of like I need as many of these avenues. I've even got a TikTok, and it's kind of like it's just nonsense. And I might just delete my account really, because I don't think really many people are following me on there who aren't following me on something else as well. So what's the point?
Yeah, sure.
It's just taking up valuable space on my phone. Hard drive or memory card or whatever. But cool, man. We're getting towards the end now. Really enjoyed it so far. We always talk about this. Do you have any specific warm-up routines that you do before a gig? Because it's always good to get advice, because I think there's so many people out there that don't warm up and they're going to hurt themselves one day.
Yeah, do you know what, mate? I do. I never used to, but I make it as part of my ritual now. So I try not to. That day of the gig, for example, if I get picked up in the morning and then we put sound checks at say 2, I won't do anything before sound check. And then my sound check, I'll have a really nice light warm up, play a few songs, nice and steady, and then I won't play again because I found that my wrists can get if I play too much, warm up too much, they get fatigued, and then it makes it sort of harder for me at night. So I've kind of learned to less is more on gig day. But yeah, and then I'll have 10 minutes before I go on. I'll have 10 minutes just doing like some basic rudiments, and then the band always runs through like 1 or 2 songs before we go on. Usually the first and second songs, we're all sort of locked in. I play to a click track as well.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask about that because I noticed you had some form of contraption. I don't know whether that was
just on my it's just my phone. It's nothing basic. I actually bought a stand for it today, so I've now my phone's on a stand rather than just on
nice.
like a seat next to it. So yeah, so I've got my click already loaded up. We'll play a song, usually the opening song, along with the click, just to get my head into the click and get.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And then I'll just do just some basic warming up, paradiddles, doubles, rolls, and stuff like that.
Pretty much that's all I know. Pretty much.
I'm not a very good my worst nightmare is like to play the drums.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, I can't. I like to play songs. I like to play in a band with songs. So, but I'm trying to learn more rudiments and all that kind of stuff and be a bit more creative around the kit. But
you probably do. You probably play them all, but just because I think I do a lot of them without knowing what they are. And then it's just because listening to music for years, you just hear things, you figure out how to do them. You don't know they're called something. Like,
yeah.
The other day, it was like some video. It was like, oh, this is a Hurter. I'm like, oh, I've never heard of that, but I definitely play those quite a lot, but just didn't know it was a name for it, And I think a lot of people do that because I wasn't really drum educated when I was a kid. My dad taught me the basics and I kind of just worked on it myself.
Yeah.
I had a couple of lessons when I was in my late 20s and he was amazing actually, but I was too busy / lazy and didn't practice enough. So I just stopped doing it. I want to get back into it, but this podcast takes up all my time now. So
yeah, I can imagine, mate. Yeah,
ironically, it inspires me to play drums because I'm speaking to all these amazing drummers, but it also takes up all of my spare time, so I can't practice.
Oh, yeah, mate. I get that, mate. Yeah.
It's so frustrating. Yeah. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm trying,
No, it's been great to chat to you, mate. Thank you for having me on. But yeah, going back to warm up as well. So I have to have a coffee. Always have to have a coffee.
Okay, yeah.
I actually went for the gig on Saturday. We played at Stone Deaf. I actually went for how sad I am. I'm not very good at waiting about. So if we get there early morning and we're on late at night, it's my worst that I have to keep myself preoccupied with something else. I actually went for a run on Saturday.
Oh, amazing!
Get myself out of there. Just a bit of headspace because I do get the more time I have on my hands, the more I think about it, the worse I play.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's I bet there's loads of drummers out there, just, like nerves, anxiety and a bit of tenseness.
Yeah.
And then one little small error at the start of the gig can really set you back mentally, I think, and I think it's probably quite normal, but it's not nice when you're up there, is it? And you think you're having a bad one. And actually the crowd never bloody notice, do they? So it's,
like I said the other day, I think there's certain things as musicians, we're really picky about. And we hear things, oh shit. Even if it's not yourself, if someone else in the band did something, like no one really cares. It might bother you, or you fluffed one little fill, or you missed the bass drum, or it was slightly out of time, and no one really cares. But I think we're all perfectionists to some degree, or we try to be, and you just got to think like, are the crowd enjoying themselves? Do they look like they're enjoying it? Great, we're doing our job. I think that's the best attitude to try and have, but it's not always easy. But I think that's a great. I know what you mean. If you're sitting around all day thinking about the set, or I have nothing else to focus on, or I think that's a great way. And just going for runs in general are a great way for clearing your mind and. In general, even if it's not gig day. So, I always try and recommend the exercise, even if it's going for a walk. That's really good. Just for clearing your head a little bit and you'll just feel nicer afterwards. So, yeah.
I never drink before a gig as well. I used to,
Not me. I don't touch it.
Yeah. God, I used to, and then I had one complete disaster of a gig. We've only been going about 3-4 years, and I got absolutely leathered. And then, you've got like sticks all on your kit, 2 in your pot, 1 on your few on top of your bass drum or whatever, feeling and lying around. They got to a point in the set where there was no sticks around me and no sticks in my hands. I had to get up, walk over to pick my sticks up. It's like so embarrassing. So that was like very early days, cover band.
Yeah, you live and learn, don't you? And it's good that you kind of learned earlier on. And I think our generation, I'm assuming we're fairly similar age, but like I think we've learned from all the previous generations who maybe overdid it too much. And I think there's a lot less musicians these days that kind of go on stage pissed up now, I think, or drugged up or whatever. Some people do it, but
common, is it? Yeah.
I don't know many people that do it, and I don't. My brother who plays bass in the band, so he's got the easiest job. He sometimes has like maybe 1 beer before, and then he'll have 1 on stage with him. But like that's not really going to affect. And no one else in the band drinks at all before we play. So, and it's quite common. And I don't know many drummers that drink. God,
no.
I don't know how people can actually function or play a steady beat. It's silly. But going back to your click track, are you the only person in the band on it, or the whole band on the click?
Yeah, no, just me, mate.
Interesting.
It's only relatively new. Since since we've come out of lockdown, I've been playing to it, but it's transformed me as a live drummer.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get to one day where I won't. I'm not reliant on it now. And it's kind of there in the background. I can come in, I can drift in and out of it, and play slightly behind it, a lot of the time. And it's just there as a guide more than anything. So it's not very loud in my in-ear mix anymore.
Okay.
But it's there if I need it, set off at the right tempo. You can hear it throughout a lot of the fills, which is where I usually tend to speed up and slow down.
Yeah.
And it just makes us all locked together, just like that 1% improvement, and we're all tight for it, if you know what I mean. So
cool. That's interesting.
Well, actually, it's working really well. Yeah,
I've never tried it live myself. But I know there's certain, especially when we're on tour, there's certain nights where you might kind of be going a bit faster than normal because everyone's the crowd are giving it to you, so you play everything a little bit faster, and then it wears you out. And so I can see the benefit of doing that. But it's just, I think as a band, we're all happy to kind of move around the tempo a little bit, and as long as everyone can actually play their parts, I don't think for our band anyway. I don't think it matters so much. But I totally understand why people do it. Yeah,
it was a person. Well, we've got a new tour manager who's our sound engineer as well. He just said, "Have you ever fancied giving it a go?" I've noticed that sometimes you are, like you say, mate. If adrenaline gets you, I could set off at 100 miles an hour and be like 10 beats per minute faster. He's like, just try it, just see how it goes, and it's just a personal thing. And I think hopefully one day I'll be able to stop. And then in another 6 months' time, I'll be that locked in with sort of my tempos that I probably won't, shouldn't need it. And I didn't use it on the weekend. Just gone at 6 hours having a nightmare with my buddy in here, so I sacked it off. But
I heard there were a few technical issues that weekend because our guitar tech was there with TerraVision.
Oh right, okay,
and he said there was a few issues, and they had to cut half of their set or something. So I don't think he was the band weren't very happy about it anyway.
No, I can imagine. Do you know what they had a nightmare? The festival, just one thing led to another. It was just I felt really, really, really sorry for them, but they worked the bloody socks off to get it over the line. So at one point, it wasn't looking like the festival wasn't going to happen, and it was they pulled it off literally like on the Friday. They just got everything set up like an hour before the first band was on. So fair play to them. And all the guys down there was top people, really, really decent guys. But I think it's just with COVID and a few things, just loads of barriers in the way for getting stuff done and getting things out on time. Wagon driver shortages, I think, was one of the issues.
Right, okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, they got it over the line. It was a great day and a great festival.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So we're talking about Stone Dead Festival or Stone Deaf. Which way round is it?
It is. Yeah, I keep saying it right. It's Stone Dead Festival. That's right. Yeah. I
played it when it was Stone Deaf. I think 2019 probably, and it was great. It was awesome. It was such a great day. It was brilliant. Yeah. And it's just they had a bit of bad luck this year by the sound of it, but cool. Yeah, onwards and upwards. Hopefully it'll happen again next year. And so it was a good crack, good lineup. Cool. Let's I've got like I mentioned, I've got a Patreon page, and the top tier get to ask my guest a question. So I've actually got two questions from your man Charley Farley, that you know, because he's one of my patrons as well. And this question is about your Patreon, which we've kind of already touched on. But yeah, as the Wagons also set up a Patreon, has it as a band? Well, I think I've handwritten this out and I've messed it up. As a band, do you feel it's helped to keep the momentum or a sense of connection to the fan base during the lockdown? So yeah, you pretty much said yes.
100%. It has. Yeah, it's been fantastic for us as a band to see it. You know, we're very, very humbled by everybody's support, and hopefully as fans contributing and being a part of it, they're getting, you know, to see, you know, the other side of it. You know, we work quite hard at it. Usually, like every fortnight, we'll do like a practice live stream, so cool. People can see what goes on behind the scenes with writing songs and rehearsing and all that kind of stuff. We've did quite a few like live gigs or live rehearsals for them during lockdown as well. And yeah, it's 100%. It's been, you know, supercharged, keeping the momentum going through COVID, and hopefully that'll continue.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. And this is a very peculiar question. This is probably the strangest. I'm worried
now, Charlie. Yeah, from what Charlie might be asking.
Strangest question I've ever had, to be honest. Who would you rather fight? One bear-sized gerbil or 1,000 gerbil-sized bears?
Oh God, 1,000. Oh my word. This is a real tough question. I think I'd have to go. I'd go with the one big one. Yeah.
The one big one.
Yeah. I'd get bored after kicking them. I'd feel sorry for them after kicking them down the street or whatever. But yeah, no, I'd go for the big one. Yeah.
Cool.
That is an excellent question, Charlie. Yeah. What?
He's got an interesting mind. No, thanks, Charlie, for that. That was great. I really appreciate that. And now it's time for the quick fire round that we always do. Awesome. It's just 10 quick questions, quick answers, just so people can get to know you a little bit better. I ask the same questions to every guest. So, do you prefer hot or cold weather?
Hot weather.
Daytime or nighttime?
Daytime.
Sweet or savory?
Savory.
Guitar or bass?
Guitar.
Nylon or wood tip drumsticks?
Wood.
John Bonham or Neil Peart?
Neil Peart.
Beatles or Rolling Stones?
Rolling Stones.
Rest in peace, Charlie Watts. He died about a week ago now. So yeah, that's a big talking point actually in the drumming world. So yeah, R.I.P. Legend. Clear or coated drum heads? You kind of said clear. Yeah. Big or small venue?
Oh God! Right. Well, difficult one. Small venues are ace atmosphere wise, but I'd have to say big venue.
Cool. Favorite time signature to play?
4/4.
Yeah. I was going to say, I didn't notice many. All the songs I've heard, I think they're all in 4/4. Most of my songs are in 4/4. I think there's the odd bar that's got like an extra one or one missing. It's rock and roll, man.
Rock and roll, yeah.
Cool. And then just to finish off, this is the question I ask everybody. So if you could create your own dream band with yourself on drums, you could have any other musicians that have ever lived, dead or alive, You can't include any members of Massive Wagons. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who would you have?
There's no chance for them. No chance. They'd be out.
Yeah. So who would you have playing the other instruments and on vocals, or trumpet or whatever? Any instruments you want, you can make it up, the lineup, whatever.
Has to be Freddie Mercury singing.
He's quite a popular one. Quite a popular vocalist.
Oh, is he? Yeah, I can imagine. I would have. Oh Christ! I'd have Don Airy on keyboard. I'd have Don Airy.
What's he from?
Rainbow.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. See, this is I don't know much about Rainbow.
Or maybe John Lord. Actually, maybe John Lord.
I know who he is.
Don's out. Yeah, I'd have John Lord actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, two keyboards.
You could have two. Have two keyboardists, man.
This is my band. I can do whatever I want.
You can, yeah. You can literally do anything you want. That's what's cool about it.
I could probably have Angus Young. God knows what this music would sound like, but Angus is an absolute. Yeah. No, I'd have Malcolm. Malcolm would be my rhythm man, and I'd pick as my lead man. Oh God. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Nice.
That'll probably be it, mate. I reckon. Oh, I need a bass, man. Yeah, we need a bass. But
someone on bass.
Anyway, yeah. Oh God, who would I have on bass? That's Alex Lifeson from Rush.
He's a guitar.
Sorry, not Alex. Sorry, not Alex. Geddy Lee.
Geddy Lee. Yeah, I was going to say Lee. Yeah, nice. He's been on a few times, I think. Ah, cool. Yeah, nice band. Interesting. I always love hearing the answers to this. It kind of shows your taste a little bit as well. And sometimes there's some surprises in there, which is cool. But, it's always, I don't know, it's a good question. Some people take about 20 minutes to answer it.
How do they? Yeah.
Sometimes it's not ideal. There's a lot of,
I'd have to put some real thought into if we were actually going to produce some music that we all wanted to play. I mean, that's quite a mix of stuff. We'd probably all just be fighting about what we wanted to play, But
that's great, man. It's cool.
Yeah, I love questions like that. I guess, I used to do that, when I was at school and put like my dream band together and draw it out and stuff. And
cool, man. I've mentioned this before. I wonder with today's technology whether there's a way of somehow, like if some person like sampled music from all different musicians and somehow it could be like transposed into the right key, and then you could choose different musicians and it would automatically create a song for you based on their kind of history and I don't know. There's probably a way of some algorithm that can connect, put it together for you. I don't know. Maybe it's a business plan, but I haven't got the brains. I wouldn't have a clue how to do it. The technology wise, I wouldn't have a clue, but I don't know. I think it'd be cool, but
that is a great idea, mate. Yeah, and I'm sure some clever software would be able to do it.
Yeah, some clever bastard. Yeah, cool. Right, I'm gonna let you go now. Thanks so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you properly. I know we've had a couple of phone calls and I met you briefly in Cornwall, but hopefully...
thank you, Dane. Yeah, you're an absolute legend for having us on, mate. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy to think people actually want to come and talk to me. So thank you, mate.
It's going to be really fun, and I know there's a lot of the listeners that kind of are aware of the band, and many that might not know who you are yet, but hopefully they do now by the time they've listened to this point. So anyone in Germany or the UK can come and watch you. I haven't checked the date. I'll try and come to Cardiff. As long as I'm not.
Drop the message, mate. Yeah.
That'd be wicked. And you're playing the Globe, I think it's the Globe, which is cool. I've done that a few times myself. It's a good place there.
Brilliant.
And everyone go and check out your back catalogue. The most recent album, House of Noise, is fantastic. Loads of tunes on it, full of tunes. Every track's a banger. I highly recommend it. So thanks again, Alex. And we'll see you next time. I'll see you on the road. And thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers.
Awesome, mate. Yeah. Nice one, Dane. Take care, mate.
Cheers.
Run for the Song podcast.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Drum for the Song podcast. If you've enjoyed this, please consider liking the video and subscribing if you're watching on YouTube, or subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. If you could leave me a review or comment, that would be fantastic too, as it helps other people discover this show. Please also consider sharing this with any family members or friends who might enjoy the content. You can also follow me on social media at Dane_drums or at Drum for the Song, or search for Drum for the Song on Facebook to follow the page and join the official Facebook group. If you'd like to support the podcast, you could purchase some merchandise from drumforthesong.com, or consider supporting me via Patreon from just £3 per month for additional exclusive content like bonus episodes, video calls with myself, competitions, discounts, and much more. Any additional support is always greatly appreciated, but I would like to give extra special thanks to my top tier Groove Master patrons, whose names are listed in the description below. My name is Dane Campbell, and thanks so much for watching or listening this far. If you're a drummer, don't forget to drum for the song!